Sup, gigglers?
Gary, fix the Wi-Fi.
Manifest that shit.
OD can't manage. I mean, the day just got away from me.
What is up, my galactic gigglers?
Did you say that because somebody described a dress last night as like galactic?
No, but were you watching the Emmys?
No.
You know, it's so funny. I was never into pop culture. Now I'm obsessed.
You're obsessed.
I'm watching.
And then I kind of was like, fell off.
I'm texting you about the pre-show interviews. No response.
I didn't even know.
I'm posting fashion looks.
I didn't even know the Emmys was this weekend.
I didn't even know the Emmys is. Well, you know why it's confusing? The Emmys were twice this year. The last Emmys were in like January because of the strike. So there's been back-to-back Emmys.
Oh.
I was confused.
Because it's not usually in September, correct?
I think it's normally September, but it's like once a year. So these people were like, Jeremy Allen White just won a second ago.
Well, I mean, I did see all the controversy.
Oh, wait, you guys, let's get in, and then there was the VMAs. We need to get into this.
Yeah.
First of all, Jeremy Allen White, I went to middle school with him.
Yep.
It's my biggest
Claim to fame.
I need everyone to remember and never forget. Hi, Jeremy. People are mad.
Yeah.
Not at Jeremy.
No.
Arguably at the Academy.
I'm mad, I think.
Explain.
The Bear won for... No. He won for The Bear.
The Bear won a lot of things, and last year I think they won Best Comedy. I could have made that up, but basically The Bear is up in comedy.
Why?
Hannah Einbinder's mom, who apparently is an SNL alum, was going off on Twitter. She said, "Fuck the Bear."
I hate The Bear. She said, The Bear is not a comedy.
But
it's not even dark humor. Which, like, it's not.
Because some people are like, well, yeah, it's just dark and funny. It's like, no, it's just sad. I didn't last. I watched 3 minutes of The Bear. But that's my favorite thing, is to make comments about shows I've never watched, like Challengers and The Bear.
What made you turn The Bear off, that you were like, not for me?
After it was giving, what's the movie with Adam Sandler that's like, and Julia Fox with the jewels?
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. It was giving Uncut Gems energy, where it was like,
anxiety.
Yeah, and like,
You're
also,
definitely
I was like,
a little bit more depressed after watching an episode, for sure, I would say.
See, that's crazy, because watching Hacks, my life is light.
Yep.
Jean Smart is my everything.
I'm so happy Hacks was winning, because I feel like when it started, there's 3 seasons in.
And
I feel like no one knew about it.
Yeah, and I remember falling in love with it the first season.
Yep.
I'll be honest, second season, fine. Third season, spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone needs to watch it. But the thing with The Bear, Dan Levy and Eugene Levy
hosted.
I have a lot of thoughts. Do you think they actually get along?
People said they crushed it. Their father-son.
They did amazing, but I like to have a theory that like they hate each other.
Like, no, I think they get along. I mean, I'll go with your theory for sure. I'll make up rumors also, but I think if I had to put my finger on it, I would say that they're a pretty chummy duo.
No, they're so cute. I want like a reality show of like their family.
Yeah. I mean, they look identical.
They're so cute. So Eugene.
It is kind of funny to think about, like, he's famous. He's obviously like a Nepo baby.
Yeah.
But like, imagine if it was like you and your mom hosting the Emmys. Like, that would just be so. My mom would be so nervous.
The fact that he's flaming gay is so great. Like, it's so beautiful.
All men really should be.
All men
really are.
All men are. So Eugene Levy goes, I know some of you might be expecting us to make a joke about whether The Bear is really a comedy, but in the true spirit of The Bear, we will not be making any jokes. So, like, it's known that, like, the people are annoyed.
So my question to the Academy would be...
We love saying the Academy.
Does the Academy choose what category you're in, or does the production company like say, hey, why don't you take a look at this show that we just put out? We're putting it in the comedy category, because do they think it would be easier to win?
Yeah, like, is it their team putting it up? Because some people
like,
are like,
is that
it's not the Bears'
PR
fault.
decision?
All good questions. When people were getting interviewed about it, some people were just like, look, like, some parts, they made me smile. And you're like, that's not comedy. That's not comedy. I have a gripe. I have a gripe to pick. First of all, no one has respect for stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
They have a variety special, and it's like Nikki Glaser was nominated. I think Trevor Noah was nominated, and then like Billy Joel and the Oscars were nominated. Like they don't even have their own stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you guys not appreciating
No,
the art?
with all the like specials,
No, and then they have the written ones, and the written ones is like a different thing
like comedy writers.
with like Mike Birbiglia. No, it was like nominated for like a written special. Long story short, they're snooty.
The Academy has no humor.
The Academy has no sense of humor. So
Yeah,
I think
the
they
Academy's
watched The
never
Bear
laughed.
and they were like, that's
That's
hilarious.
hilarious.
So my thing is, let's start this thing. It's like the Oscars. To win an Oscar, you have to be in a movie about everyone dying,
Mhm.
or like you have to have like an insane
You have to
fucked up
cry.
nude scene.
Yeah.
You have to like,
You have to be traumatized.
you have to be
in some
someone
way.
has to be traumatized, and then they're like, that is art.
Mhm.
But like comedy, they just started to like even acknowledge it as like talent. And you know what? I'm fucking mad.
Yeah.
Because you know what's harder than crying? Laughing.
Being funny.
Yes.
Because arguably,
Period.
if you're a stand-up comedian, you are acting at the same time as performing in front of a live audience. You've also written all of that yourself, so you're also in the writer room. So arguably, comedians are more talented than if you're just an actor or just a singer, because you have to be all of them.
Wow.
Period.
Period.
Slay.
Slay. You just burned the house down.
Yeah. I'll never be nominated for anything.
I don't think I will either
that.
after this. But no, but I think it's
And while we're at it, where's the fucking podcast section?
where's the YouTube podcast
Wait.
section?
I wish that some Nepo baby, like almost like a fire festival thing, I wish that some Nepo baby would create like a social media awards. Like,
I think it's called the Webbies.
oh.
But we've never been tapped.
Yeah, we've never been tapped in. Social media, like
Nothing's come across my
best
desk.
fight on TikTok this year, and it's just like all the Mormon moms like, thank you so much, and like, or like best comedy duo in
Yeah.
TikTok clips, and me and you get up and we're just like, hi.
Wait, I love
like,
that.
why can't there be something for like this
you know
new
why?
age of entertainment?
You just nailed it. New age. Because the older generation who runs the Academy, and I'm talking old, I'm talking like that guy who's alone in the hills
Yeah,
just with cable and watches stuff on DVDs,
yeah.
is making the decisions. And it's not a girly.
It's definitely not a girl.
It's not a 23-year-old girly that's
No.
like, this is what's in right now. So I think we just solved that. But award shows, there's something about art and getting awards that's like weird to me.
Mm.
Like as a tennis player, like when you won that tournament, like you get that trophy, bitch.
Yeah.
Where like everyone's just creating art, and then you don't even know who's voting, why they're voting, what they're voting on.
It's very
and
subjective.
so
and
subjective.
I would surmise that the Academy, not to bring it back to them,
That's
I would assume there's a lot of politics.
so much politicking
I
and
would
apologizing to the Academy.
Yeah, and I would assume that like the Academy gets into a fight with some production company or some network or something, and it's
You're
like, well, let's
blackballed.
see if your shows ever win, and then that trickles down to like the actors or like.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's all probably a big mishmash of idiots.
Literally. But I do have to say, which is so amazing, what I realized recently is I know why we're like obsessed with each other right now.
We are.
We're like really Paige and I are so obsessed with each other, but like
You're definitely obsessed with me. I haven't really talked to you since we got home, but
and we're obsessed with Grace, and she literally hates us.
No, I'm obsessed with Grace.
I called her. I was like, "Hello, do you have a second?" And she was like, "Yeah, what's up? Mama's working. What's up?" No, but I realized that like you love comedy, and
Mhm.
you are comedy, and we've been at the airport, and I've been introducing Paige. I'd be
No,
like,
as
"We're
a
comedians."
comedian.
Well, they'd be like, "What are you guys up to?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're just two comedians being
Well,
comedians."
it's too much to be like,
Yeah, I'm
well,
not gonna
we host
explain.
this podcast.
I go, "Look,
and the
we run a
podcast
reality
is
show. I
like-
got fired, and
Yeah.
then she."
Long story short,
Oh, they're short. I
the
mean,
guy's like, I'm here taking your order. Like, I don't need to know.
well, actually, the Midwest and Southern airports want to talk. These people want.
No, they
to talk.
want to talk.
I've never seen security be like, cracking jokes.
I think now, like on tour, because we're in so many different airports and hotels that they all like seem to be one. The only way I can tell where we are in the country is how nice or mean TSA is. And a perfect example of we touched down in New York City. Hannah is the first person to get off the plane. She's turned around talking to the person behind her. 5 people back is a man saying, let's go, like, let's move it.
And I literally could not have been happier. I
No.
go, thank you, sir.
Could not have been more
Someone needed
thankful.
to get some fucking structure because it's been chaos in these southern airports.
Being in the South for as long as we were, to then land in New York, nothing feels better than just someone like being like, get the fuck out of the way. And you're like, thank you for being so real.
No, I was so happy. No, the South, they kept doing this thing where when you go in so many airports, you can tell when people do different things. So they were like acting like our bags had stuff in them,
Yeah.
but then not even opening the bags and then just giving
Why'd
it to
they
us.
keep doing that?
No, they kept doing it.
The South is like how I would like picture like you treat your in-laws. Not you specifically, because you don't have in-laws, right?
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
How you would treat your in-laws, and then like the Northeast is like how you treat your family.
Oh my God, you are a literal poet right now. Yeah, it's like the TSA agent. I go in, he's looking at my ID. Normally in New York, they just look at you like they're about to call the police and then they don't. And you're
Yeah.
like, thank you, I feel safe.
Yeah.
Where these guys is like, he starts reading out my address, which is obviously an old address.
Also, safety hazard.
No, he reads it out and then he's like, Long Island City. And I'm like, yeah, I used to live there. And he's like, is that Long Island or is it the
Keep it
city? And
moving,
immediately I'm
guy.
like, this is not good.
No, keep it going. No, I can't.
But then I realized that, yeah, you love comedy
Mm-hmm.
and I have comedy.
Yes.
And then I realized, like, let's be honest. I've always loved fashion. I
No,
just have a
you-
complicated relationship.
You love fashion.
I love it, but like, so like I feel
You
like
love fashion. Okay, this is a great. No, you're actually nailing it. You love fashion the way I love comedy. I
Yes.
love comedy and I can like relish in it, but
Yes.
I would never be like, I'm going to go try stand up.
Yes.
You love fashion. You love seeing it,
Yeah.
but you would never be like, and now I do fashion. I'm a fashion girly.
let's talk about my first
no.
Michael Kors show.
Your first runway show.
My first runway show, period. So
And
I
you
didn't
nailed
know.
it.
Okay, well, that was very nice of you and not true.
My mom texted me and goes, Hannah looks amazing. And that's
Wait,
a hard text to
I
get.
don't know
I
if-
rarely
I don't
even
think
get
Kim's
that.
ever said
No. She goes, Hannah looks amazing. I was
no,
like, no, she
well,
really
I obviously
does.
tried really hard. They sent stuff. And when you walked in, there was like a ton of cameras.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in the car with you, so I started freaking out. And it's so funny because with comedy, anything could be going on
Yeah.
and you'll be freaking out. And I'm like, it's literally fine. No one cares.
yeah.
I'm literally in the car like,
I have panic attacks before we go on stage and you literally kick me. You're in a car and you're texting me like, what do I do when I get out of the car?
I go, she was like, wait for me. And I was like, do I wait in front of the photographers and look like a fucking loser? Or do I go in and then you're left alone? And like, I was fighting for my life.
Yeah.
But then Paige goes, it's 8 minutes. And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, fashion shows, like, it's not a podcast. Like, it's quick. And
Where
I
are
was
we at?
like,
15.
maybe 15.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I can fuck with that.
Mhm.
That's like 100% for my ADHD.
Well, because you're not there long enough to get hungry. And that is how I
Well, don't
register
test me.
if you're
Don't test
if
me.
you're gonna come to something.
Don't
or
test me
not.
because I was hungry.
At the end,
At
and
the
then at the
end.
end, but you're on your way home. You're like, this is actually timed perfectly.
But we walk in and it was actually funny. They brought us straight to the seat. They were like, bitches, sit down.
We
be
can't
good.
be mingling with other people.
No.
Tell them the Coco Rocha story.
First of all, Coco Rocha, she's the kind of person that like, she's just an icon.
Yeah.
I can't really place where and how.
But
I just-
everywhere and
She's
and
everywhere.
all the
I just
time.
saw her like teaching people how to walk and
Yeah.
stuff, which I low key, I think we should do a modeling walking class with her. That would be so
That
funny.
would be so funny. I'd love to see where I'm at naturally.
Mm.
You know?
Well, because let's talk. Some people, I'm like, how are you walking worse than if you weren't trying to model walk?
Right.
Like you're trying to look weird when
No,
you walk.
I've been to some runway shows where I'm like, I can't watch you walk.
I do have to say, delusional me.
Yeah. You're like, I could do it.
I can do it. I don't think I would like I'll be bloated, but I
Yeah.
can do it.
yeah.
Like it's sports. It's like
It's
one,
sports.
two. It's
It's
literally
their
like get a little
sport.
rhythm.
Yeah.
It's footwork,
It's
and then it's like tennis.
It's literally
like,
just footwork.
it's literally technique. Like put your shoulders back a little
Yeah.
bit. But some people, you have to be a little
Well,
athletic. I
it's
think.
funny because like when you're at a show, you can automatically tell like, wow, that girl has a great walk. Like she just
Yeah.
looks so good walking
Yeah.
down compared to like other girls where you're like, oh, she's like a little too
Some
like
of them like
dancey.
they
or,
gallop,
Like,
and I
yeah.
like it. I like it when you and I like the hip. I like the '90s. I've been on TikTok supermodel walk '90s.
Yeah,
once.
you can tell when a supermodel walks out during a runway
Oh
show.
my god, when Irina Shayk.
A perfect example.
You nudged me because I'm all over the place. I
Yeah.
was.
Lindsay Lohan was there. I also sent her a DM, but she didn't respond.
Did you send her a DM?
Yeah, because she was
Well,
right there.
Because you fully convinced me that she was looking at us and that she listens to Giggly Squad and she loves Giggly Squad.
Yeah, I made that up, but I think she does.
She goes, no. She listens to the podcast. And I go, that's crazy because she just walked right by us and called security on us.
I felt like she was making eye contact with
I
me,
think
but
she was.
I feel like she was.
Or she was looking at Coco.
I feel like she was like, I feel like I know her, but where do I know her from? Like she was one of those. And then I had an opportunity, but I freaking chickened out.
I do have to say, she looks so good
Incredible.
in person. Because you know the photos, you're like, yeah, she looks amazing. But
Yeah.
like, you know, so
There's got to be a little
maybe
face
this
tune
face tune,
there.
she looks incredible. And it makes me so happy.
That
Like,
makes me so
she's just the
happy.
best. But sitting next to Coco Rocha is not what I wanted for my first runway show.
Mhm.
Like I wanted a random journalist
Yeah.
who was just she's everything
Yeah.
to the point that like also this they don't have separate seats. Like you're all
No,
on
it's like a bench.
and there was not enough room for her to sit.
No.
And my fat ass was not about to get smaller.
Yep.
She slithers right in.
Slithered. You were like, oh, I think, let me see if someone can move it. She was like, it's fine. And she just sat
Like
down.
air.
You're like, okay.
And then I like said hi to her or whatever, and then she got up, and then I started a bit with you being like, Coco Rocha hates me. She's going
you
up to
changed
Michael.
her name.
Yeah, Coco
Let's take
Rocha.
it. Rocco.
Rocco. She's going up to Michael Kors. She's saying, "Who is this girl you sat me next to?" She comes back, could not be nicer,
So
laughing, like big personality, and then I was copying her during the show. Did you notice?
No.
Well, I didn't know how to like. I didn't know what to.
I told you just sit and be quiet and watch.
That's not how I move about this life. So first of all, these fashion shows are so funny. Well, I loved it. Like I
Yeah.
love creativity, so I love that it was creative.
Yeah.
And as people are going down, I wanted to acknowledge the looks that I like really
oh
like.
my God, I forgot about this.
So at one point I was like, yes, like let's go.
No, Hannah turned to me and goes, do we ever clap?
Do we not cheer?
I said, not till the very end.
But like when I see something I like, I want to be like,
no, if
let's
you
go,
cheered
bitch.
during it, they'd never invite you back.
Well, I
I
was
feel
this
like.
close. Actually, some
Yeah.
things were coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And
You were mumbling a little. I
I'm a-
tried to hit you.
well, Nina Garcia was across from us,
Yes.
who I convinced was staring at us, but she had sunglasses on, so I made that up.
And
You were sitting next to Camilla Cowlow.
yeah, Camilla Coelho. I
Coelho.
told her that I'm like the biggest fan and my mom's obsessed with her and I just like think I don't know if this sounded creepy. I was like, I watch everything you do and I just think you're a really good mom. And she was like, thanks.
Honestly, I think I did better with Coco than
Yeah.
you did with
No,
Camilla.
I did such a creepy. I was like, I've been following you for years. I love everything you do, everything that you post. I'm such a big fan. Me and my mom always talk about you and your baby and what a good mom you are.
Yeah, I'm calling
I mean, I just kept rambling. She goes, thanks.
Wait, do we want to talk about how... Well, Michael Kors didn't even notice
Anna
me.
Wintour walked by us. Wait, let's tell the Michael Kors story because it's so fucking funny.
It's really funny.
Now I understand the stress that the gigglers feel like when they're about
In a meet and greet.
yeah, in a meet and greet because like before I'm like, okay, I have something to say, but should I say that? Like, is that weird? Is he even gonna care? Like, but whatever. So we walk up to like take a picture with him. He's staring right at me. I almost feel like he opened his arms to me.
Well, he goes, wow, you look so pretty. I think he said that.
Yeah,
he,
and
he
I was like,
you look amazing.
I was like, oh my God, thank you so much.
And I was behind like, hi. He didn't notice me.
He didn't even acknowledge.
I don't think he knew I was in the photo.
I literally felt like your head just popped out. Hi, and I was like, I'm talking to Michael Kors. Please be quiet. And so then I said like,
But I was good. I stayed
I
quiet.
said like the bit I had seen him at our Italy hotel like 2 years ago, and my dad was like, "Go up to Michael Kors," and I was like, "I'm not just going up to Michael
Tell
Kors.
him you
at
like
break-
fashion.
Yeah, what am I gonna say to him, Dad? Like, no,
Tell
you
him
tell
you put
him you
together
wear,
outfits.
You wear his stuff,
You
don't
wore
you?
his stuff.
I'm like, Dad, stop! I can't. So whatever. So I said that to him when I saw him.
Do you know what's the problem? If you practice something,
Yes,
it never works.
It never
when you which is
works.
crazy because that's all I do is stand up. But like, you start doing a monologue, and he's working.
Yeah, he's
and you
working.
were like,
and I get it. And then
You
I was
got a
like,
little
it was
nervous.
too much. And then
we went
we
to
go
take
to
a photo.
picture. And then I look at the pictures we got back. Hannah, he didn't even put his arm around you.
No. Okay, this is the thing. And by the way, Michael Kors, I'm so obsessed with you, and it made me love you even more. At one point, I realized I have my hand on this man. Like, have my sweaty hand on his back, and I realized he doesn't have it back on mine. I'm just standing there
I think he was
holding
hugging
Michael
me
Kors.
with both arms.
I think he thought I was your security guard. But by the way, loved how the photos came out.
Loved.
I
I loved
post
everything
them
about
everywhere.
it. No, there's nothing better. No, fashion shows are great because it is, you go, you do the look,
Yeah.
you get the pic,
And you go
sit
home.
for 7 minutes, and you go.
Or you go to your next show, which
Yeah.
I've never done before. But I do have to say thank you to Michael Kors because for believing me.
No, literally.
Like
Let's bring comedy to the runway.
Apparently, Tiffany Haddish got in trouble, comedian, because she got up and walked.
Because Kathy Hilton told her to.
Because Kathy
She
Hilton bullied her.
literally bullied. Here's the thing, too. Peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
Does it never end?
But-
I
and
feel
also
like if
Leslie
Kathy Hilton
Jones.
told me to do that, too, I'd be like, Kathy, I can't.
Oh God! But yeah, Leslie Jones apparently also yells when people are on the runway. Like she'll be like, "That's amazing! I love it."
No, not the fashion community.
You're not supposed to.
N-
So we're both.
It's kind of like tennis. There's
Uh-huh.
certain times during tennis you don't
You don't cheer.
speak.
Yeah, it's like when someone yells in the middle of a point, I literally am. It's so funny because I'm such a snob when it comes to tennis, but everything else I'm like, come on, let the people have fun. But tennis, I have a stick up my ass.
Well, because that's like a real rule, like a real, like
Yeah,
a
it's
known
a rule.
Like
I
that's
also,
the same thing if you were golf.
yeah.
If it was a golf tournament, like
Yeah.
no one would do that. They have respect for the players.
Yes, it's out of respect. And I guess, you know what? I like to show respect, and I guess I felt like I wanted to cheer on some of the models.
Yeah, but it would like throw them off.
Yeah. Also,
Probably.
Lisa Rinna was there.
Yes, her daughter walked.
Her daughter walked, and Delilah was also there.
I think Delilah.
Stunning.
I was just gonna say, I don't think she gets enough credit for like one, how gorgeous she is, but like how uniquely gorgeous
Mm.
and like striking and like cool.
It's
like I feel
cool
like
to-
she
what-
always has her hair really cool. She's
Yeah.
always like doing a cool look.
Yeah.
It always looks like she's like, oh, I wanted to try
Do you know
it
what's
today.
funny? I didn't really follow her. I didn't know that much about her. And then I saw her at the fashion show, and I was like, wait, I want to be her friend.
No, she's very cool.
Like part of me was like, oh, we should say hi to her. But I think this Michael Kors team was like eyes on Hannah. I also
that's what they were saying in their walkies before the
Got
show.
eyes on
You got
Hannah.
eyes on Hannah. Make sure
Also,
she doesn't go
I
backstage.
had this bag that was so cute, and like I had a ludicrously
Capacious
capacious
bag.
bag, which is like very in right now. Apparently suede, very
Yep.
in. But then I didn't know where to put it, and obviously I didn't have room because
Yeah.
like poor Coco Rocha was
Yeah.
trying to fit. So anyway, Coco, we want to do a YouTube video of you teaching us how to walk.
I would love it. That would be so fun. I have a question for like the Gen Zs and the millennials.
I'll answer for Gen Z's, yes.
When we're putting our photo dumps on Instagram
Oh.
now, are we putting music to them? Because in my head,
It's chuggy.
it's insane. It would be an insane move for me to put a song attached to a bunch of pictures of my cat. Now, I have seen Gen Z kids, the people doing it, but I'm like, is that okay because they're Gen Z?
Well, yeah, I also have to factor in you and your brand
Yeah.
and your personality. Grace, what do you have to say? If it's funny. She's right. This
Okay.
is the thing. If it's funny, it's good.
Okay.
If you're literally like trying to look cool with a song,
Okay.
it's not cool.
Got it.
Like for example, I did the Space Jam song.
Oh, you've done a song.
Oh, I thought that's why you brought it up.
Oh,
I've been doing songs.
no. Wait.
I've been doing the
Do
songs.
I not like your Instagrams?
I don't know if did you block me?
How have I not seen those?
So the last one I did.
Wait, mine doesn't say that. Oh, now it does. Wait. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then
Okay.
this one, when I was throwing a pitch, was the OMG song that a Mets player
You
sang.
know what my problem is? I never have my sound on.
Yeah.
So I actually feel like I'm not even seeing when people are putting them on.
So what I think for
I didn't mean to directly call you out.
No. I had to think about this. Like, is it me? Because it's giving, you know what it's giving? MySpace.
Right.
And
I heard that they're gonna like now if you go to your page, there could be an update that it's like you could have a song for your
see,
whole
that's a lot of
page.
pressure.
And that's a lot of pressure.
I
And I
changed-
left that.
We left that behind a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's very stressful. Next thing you know, they're going to have fucking top 8. But
No.
for you, let's be honest. You hate music and joy. You hate little kids singing.
Oh well, I would hate little kids singing.
You hate songs. But I do think if there's a song going, like a
That really
TikTok
speaks to me.
song, a funny, it's more like a funny TikTok. But
yeah.
but also like when everyone's posting Charlie XCX Apple or everyone's doing
Yeah,
Sabrina
I wouldn't
Espresso,
do that.
don't do it.
Okay, got it.
But you need to
so
find.
it's not the top 100 songs. You're not putting the top.
I don't think you should unless it's like a new, like Diet
Unless it's
Pepsi. When
a-
Diet Pepsi first came out, you could do it, but then now it's already done.
Got it.
I more like look at the theme of what you're posting.
Okay, next time I do a dump, I'm going to send the dump to the group and I'm going to say,
And we'll
if
decide.
you were to put a song to it,
Yeah.
and maybe we go no song.
And maybe we go no song. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe your
Maybe
song
I'm
is
a-
silence. Maybe your song is shut the fuck up. I could see like for your Italian one, you could have done a Frank Sinatra song.
I could have.
Like
I
think
I could weave it in.
make it weave
my
it
own.
in. Because I love how the first thing you're thinking of is how will this affect my outfit? If
Well,
the
I'm
song
just
is off, the vibe of the outfit could be
I'm
off.
just what's the journey? What's the story I'm trying to tell?
And I know that some people have called me out because I did post 20 photos,
Did you?
which I talked very, very, very bad about.
Look, if there's one thing that we are at Giggling Squad, it's hypocrites.
It's hypocrites.
And I think it's okay to be a hypocrite.
You know what it was? It was for my first pitch.
Mhm.
And the footage, we got a lot of footage. And there was a photographer and there was a dog. Like, there was a lot that ended up happening. But it turned into a full Facebook album. I don't want to do that again.
Okay.
It was overwhelming. It
much.
was scary. And then you lose track of the plot. Like,
yeah.
12 photos in, you're like, I don't know what the story I'm telling anymore.
Yeah.
So I think we should keep it to around
10 to 12.
10 to 12 if we have to. Well, you're
Okay.
good at, you'll go for a while and then do like a beautiful artistic dump where I'm like, if something happens to me, I'm like, we need to tell everybody.
You know, that's so funny because that's how I think about you. I'm like, Hannah's so good at like something happened. She got the photo. Now put it out.
Do you want to know
and
why?
forget about it.
Because of my, whatever my mental illness is.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't post it immediately, then I don't care anymore.
Well, that's where I get to.
Because like if I wait 4 days, I'm like, who cares about a New York Times article?
No, that's how I am.
Like, or who cares that I threw the first pitch? Like, I don't care anymore.
Well,
We're on to
I
the next
also
thing.
think that has to do with like our own personalities of being extremely, maybe even sometimes too self-deprecating. we do cool things all the time. I do a lot of cool things. Sometimes when I put it on social media, I'm like, I'm not gonna brag that like I went and did this. Like we're so
Well, yeah, you're not going to be like, this is what I did
yeah,
this
like
year.
we take ourselves so unserious.
Well, this is the thing. Also, we're not posting to be like, look at the shit we're doing. We're
Yeah.
posting for the gigglers and the gigglers only.
Yeah.
Are the gigglers going to laugh
Yeah.
or not?
No, honestly, sometimes I get so annoyed when like people from like
Who don't get it?
yeah, who aren't gigglers are like looking at my page and like commenting. I'm like, it's not even for you.
No, it literally feels like Mean Girls where someone goes, they don't even go here.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
but the
like-
gigglers will just be like, hey, you're not getting it? That's okay. You don't get it? And that's fine. If you want to do the research, do it. But we're not going to get offended that you don't don't understand like the culture.
I think gigglers are really good at fighting in the comments because they're so
Funny.
polite and sarcastic.
So polite and funny.
They're
Like,
like,
in the
hey, sorry,
sweetest
baby, you
way.
didn't get it, and we love that for you and your specific journey.
Well, because they're creating an energy in the comment section. Like, our comment section is a party, and it's like someone comes in with bad energy, and they're like, ooh, can I talk to you for a second? Can I put you aside? Like, I don't want to do in front of everyone. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you do? You're embarrassing
Wait,
us.
speaking of, what the fuck are you talking about?
Is this a new segment?
That's a great segment.
What are you talking about?
I got a lot of DMs checking on my health and wellness this weekend because I was in a car with 3 blondes. They had me surrounded.
Wait, did you post about this?
I did. I was in a car with 3 blondes and all
Oh,
my
Stephanie.
and I couldn't like say anything to my friends because like I don't think they would really get it, but I'm like, haha, everyone's DMing me that you guys are all blonde and like whatever. I was okay. They're my friends from high school, which is funny to think.
Are they real blondes?
Are any of them real blondes?
Has anyone been a real blonde?
Is anyone
ever?
a real blonde? No, they're like I think they were blonde babies, and then it went to like that mousy brown. They all get that same like mousy
Wait,
brown.
you calling a girl mousy brown is so cunty.
Is
Like, that was
it?
the meanest. If Paige Zerbo was like, you know that girl who has mousy brown hair? Just
mousy brown is actually very in.
mousy brown.
Mousy brown.
Just
Yeah,
like mousy brown.
actually, you're so right. Because in high school, like if someone said mousy brown, we'd be like, oh,
It basically
you bitch.
means like lackluster.
Dusty.
Yeah, dusty. I said lackluster.
Okay, well, they like then turned mousy brown,
Yeah.
and so then obviously like they're blonde.
Not
But
important.
my one girlfriend actually is a natural redhead, but she's a blonde.
Okay, don't come for me like that. Don't come for me.
She,
I'm just listening to the story. You don't have to come for me.
I don't even know where the story was going.
Oh, well, everyone's messaging you.
Everyone was messaging me like if I was kidnapped. Like no one believed that they were my actual friends. They're like, we've never heard of these people. And then someone was like, oh my God, the Stephanie that you always talk about.
Well, I do want to clarify. Stephanie is my favorite name for like a generic girl that
Yeah.
we're joking about.
Mhm.
It's not actually that Stephanie. We love
Mhm.
that Stephanie. But yeah, Paige has like other friends sometimes. And it comes out of nowhere.
It
She'll
comes
just,
out of nowhere. I'll just-
nowhere. And she'll be like, my favorite people, whoever.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
No,
that.
but you said it before. You're like, they
I will say, Stephanie does know me very well. Like
Yes.
the night before her wedding dress shopping, she said, hey, so tomorrow, do you mind doing me a favor and just like be really nice? And I was like, no, she had been with me all week. I literally got
So
home
she
from
was like,
tour. She was there.
hey, you know how you've been? Can we not?
I feel like how you are all the time when we're together. And I was like, being nice, like, what do you mean? She was like, just like when I walk out in a dress, like, you're very passionate about fashion. And I don't want you to be like, I hate it. And so, like, I actively was like, had to take a step back. And I was like, oh my God, would I have done
Did you
that?
have fun saying yes to the dress?
We had the best time. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I think I picked her dress essentially because I said a certain style that I wanted her to try on. And she was like,
Yes.
I'm really not about that
Oh, I
style.
love that. I love that.
I really don't think it's going to look good on me. And I was like, just try one. And then that particular style, she did end up like picking.
You do enjoy styling people.
I do when there's no
Pressure.
No, like that, like I could say freely, like
Honestly,
I like
story
this,
of my
this,
life.
and that, and like try these on.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like we had to pick the dress that day, and if we didn't, like we were
Yeah.
fucked.
Yeah.
If we didn't find it, like we would have had other days.
So not like my special. That was stressful.
Hey, we're live in 20 minutes. What is Hannah wearing? I don't know. That was stressful.
What Olivia Rodrigo wear this? No, so I think that's like so intimidating, I think, to have like Stephanie trying stuff on and you
Yeah.
sitting there. But I think like you being honest is the most important thing.
No, I was definitely honest.
Did she cry?
It's so funny because she teared up a little. Our one girlfriend teared up a little. Her mom obviously teared up a little. And then Stephanie looked at me and said, no one expected you to cry.
Oh, they were having like a moment.
Yeah, they were having like a moment.
Well, sometimes crying does get contagious. So they like sometimes I'll start crying, but about something else.
But also in my head, I was like, this is a fashion experience. Like, I guess
There's no crying in fashion.
I was like, we've got 10 more dresses in 30 minutes. How are we doing this? Like, there's no time to cry.
It's also like I'm not a big happy crier. Like
I'm not a happy crier at all.
I've done it before and it feels very weird. It feels like
Can I tell you the only time in my entire life that I can ever remember happy crying? Your wedding.
you were drunk.
Yeah. No, at your ceremony, I happy cried.
I remember I wanted to happy cry a lot of things, and like you can kind of make yourself. I fully happy cried when I got the Adidas foot commercial. That I was in like Midtown, living in Murray Hill. Called my mom and I said, "I got it. I'm gonna be a star."
I'm trying to think if I've like happy cried recently about like my own self. No, I don't think so.
It's happy crying is weird because you're doing something that is about something sad, but you're so happy. You're so happy that you're sad.
Yeah, it's such a weird.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. My wedding dress shopping, now that I think about it, if anyone forgot, we literally went to a strip mall in Long Island. The place doesn't even exist anymore.
No way.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. And I just wanted to try on shapes. And the first dress I tried on, I was like, this is it.
Well, Stephanie tried to do that too. The first dress she tried on, she was like, this is it. And
She
I
tried.
said, maybe not.
See, my Nana was like that.
Yeah.
But my mom is like me. Like, I just was like, I'm not about to have a stressful, this is not going to stress me out. I have other things going on right now.
Oh, see, I can't wait for it. And here's the other thing. No one's coming with me. It's me and Kim. And we have things
You have
to
work
do.
to do.
I have work to do. I don't know.
I used to love watching Say Yes to the Dress.
I loved it too.
Do they still do it?
I don't know if that show's still on.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone goes there anymore to that place.
Oh,
I think that place is like, it's been so many years now. It's not like I think that was like considered really cool, but like back in the day. But I don't ever hear of anyone talk.
Kleinfeld's listening right now, feeling attacked.
Sorry about that. I just never hear anyone bring it up.
Did you watch the VMAs?
I watch like snippets.
Honestly, I do feel like with these award shows, if you watch the clips after, like you're fine.
Well, here's the thing with the VMAs. It's basically a musical. Okay.
You're so right. Actually, they didn't have like any awards until like the
musical.
end.
It's a full musical.
It was a full musical.
And no shade, no hate. What did Katy Perry do this year that we were honoring her? Like, again, no shade, no hate. I love Katy Perry. She's created my whole high school experience.
So that was what she did. That it was a Vanguard Award of like your
Got
career
it.
overall.
Overall.
So they're looking back at like who's fucking consistently killed.
Did I miss something
But you
crazy?
know, now that we're like kind of in the biz a little, I understand how like certain timing is good for people. Like it was good timing for her to push her new album coming out, that she would even want to be up for it. Like, because there's no rules to these awards.
Here's the thing.
There's no
Everything's
rules.
PR.
Everything's made up.
Everything's PR.
Everything's made up. And granted, I think she did amazing.
You know when I realized everything was PR? This was years ago. I think I was at ABC News, and someone was gonna be in Sexiest Man Alive. They were announcing who the Sexiest Man Alive was like the next day. And I knew early for whatever reason. And I said, oh my God, that's crazy. And they said, they have great PR. And I said, people didn't vote? Like how, like that, I think was like one of the moments that I realized everything in entertainment is PR. Wow. Like it's very rare that you're getting a cover because like they really thought of you. Like, yeah, they thought of you, but also there were people being like, she would be great because she does this, and this.
And it's also like, hey, he'll do a photo shoot for this if you let this person
happen.
have.
And we'll help you. And we'll help you do this if you give it to.
What do you think is the PR behind Ben and J-Lo being seen together?
I think that's just them, their own mental instability.
Like, isn't there like getting back together?
Here's the thing. Not you, but you can't relate to this. But like, how many times do you break up with someone and you're like, well, I think I got another couple months in me. Or like you want to hook up with them again. But like they're in the public and they got
but
kids.
That's the thing. Don't go public if you're.
Don't go to the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Have sex in
You think they had sex?
the house.
Do you think they fuck?
I think that's probably why they got back together. I bet they always had really good sex and it never dwindled. And then when they got back together, it was right back to it.
And
And
they
that's
were
why they
like,
got
"Oh."
married so quick. They were probably like, see, we're like always connected.
Wow. Also,
I also just made all that up.
you did, and I was like,
No,
valid.
you answer like I'm
valid,
right all the
100%.
time.
'Cause I
and
think
that
you are.
adds to my delusion.
No, because I think you're psychic.
I'm like, Hannah validated
I think
it.
you're
was right.
psychic.
Thank you.
Sabrina and Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it as someone who loves the Irishman. I support.
Mm-hmm.
Barry's not end all for her at all.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they got a lot of good press from it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she's already past it.
Interesting. I saw a thing that he has a son.
Yes, he had some crazy quote.
And it said, we don't have like the typical father-son relationship.
Yeah,
Because I think it had to do with like he was saying he didn't have the typical father-son relationship.
yeah.
And someone tweeted and said, imagine if any woman who's ever given birth to a baby ever said that they don't have a typical relationship, how she would get just
Canceled immediately.
her head chopped off and handed
It
to
could
her.
have been like an out of context thing, but
Yeah.
the quote sounded so crazy where he was basically like, my dad wasn't around, so
Yeah.
like, I'm not
I'm not
around.
around. Yeah, no, he's basically like, I don't even know this fucking kid.
He was like, it's just because of my stuff that it also like, it would had no details, so it made it just sound like I'm not a dad. Like other people
also,
do
this
dad
is the
stuff.
first time I've ever heard of him having
No,
a
he
child.
has a full child. A full
So-
child. Yeah.
But obviously, him having a child didn't
Encroach on his
Yeah.
career.
at all.
But someone's at home taking care of the baby.
Someone's, not at the VMAs. What did you think about Sabrina Carpenter singing the song about Shawn Mendes and Camilla while they were there?
Okay, I'm feeling loose today.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about Shawn Mendes.
I don't either.
I could be ovulating and I would not have
sex with that
a
man.
tiny
I'm gonna
bit of wetness for
I'm
that
gonna
man.
go out on a limb and say he doesn't want to have sex with us.
Yeah,
either.
and you said it. I also thought he was in a cult.
I think he is.
So,
He was hanging out with a lot of long-haired people at one time.
which is very
culty.
culty.
Very culty.
Very culty. So, and they're
And
in
you
LA.
know the type of long
They're in
hair.
LA. Yeah,
It's not just long.
Yeah, it's not
Mormon-
extensions. It's not Mormon extensions.
It's not Mormon extensions.
It's
The
giving-
Mormon girls are like, let us come down there for 2 minutes. I'm obsessed with the Mormon girls. I'm so obsessed with the Mormon mom TikToks.
Oh, so it's continued.
No, the show's over. I can't
There's
get
still
enough.
drama?
Oh, the girls are fighting on TikTok. They're fighting, and I love it, and I'm obsessed with
The
them.
only thing that I really like about it is that they're all making the money for their households, and I feel like it's gonna change Mormonism forever because women are not supposed to have any power.
I think one of the like backlashes that they're kind of like rising up against. Like all the Mormons are basically saying to them like, "You're bad for our community," and they're just like, "No, we're not."
and
The
it's like,
one
no, we're not
girl-
because we can't be controlled by men anymore. Because if they leave, guess what? We have our own apartment. We have our own house.
The one girl, Jessie, is doing everyone's hair, so she's really like doubling, cashing in. Like
Wait, she's doing the extensions?
she does all their
Okay,
extensions.
well, can she change them slightly per girl so I know the difference between each girl?
It's what they like. It's what they like. It's just what they like.
But,
how it
but
is.
that is such a good example of like when you have a small community
Mhm.
and that's all you see is beauty and
Yeah.
you're like, that's beautiful. When it's like,
Yeah.
you could have it straight. You don't have
No,
to have
I want
the
one
same
of them
wave.
to cut like a bob, and not
have
like
a fuck ass bob.
yeah, like a fuck ass bob, not like the one Whitney cut, like a fuck ass sharp blunt bob.
Speaking of reality TV, do you know what's on Netflix that I highly recommend people watch? Unreal.
Wait, I saw it. I'm too like
Wait,
consumed.
have you never
in-
watched it?
No.
Well, I watched Unreal before I did reality TV.
Okay.
And I kind of like blocked it out because I was like,
Oh.
that's silly.
Yeah. Oh no, I don't know if I could watch it then.
I want you to try to watch I think it kind of goes off the deep end, but the first
Well.
season, it's about a producer's life on The Bachelor, and it was made by people who produced The Bachelor, so it's like actually the closest
Thing that they could legally
yeah,
say.
yeah.
probably.
But they do make like the reality TV people like seem like real bimbos.
Well, Here's
Where's the line?
Where's the line? But I think with like the Bachelor franchise, they
Yeah.
do keep them so in the dark and gaslight the shit out. Here's
Yeah.
the Bachelor is such a different animal than
Well,
like
a competition show too. So basically, like there was just a clip that was on Netflix when you're like scrolling through, and it was basically the head showrunner being like in the back telling everyone like, okay, if you get a fight, like you get a raise.
yeah.
If you can get this girl to cry, you get a raise, and don't feed this girl, and she'll start being bitchy in about 2 hours. And I'm like, that's what
Yeah.
they did to me.
Yeah, no, literally.
If Hannah doesn't have food in 1 hour and you bring this guy and tell her something mean, she's gonna lose her mind.
Literally lose your mind.
Let's do a little Daphne check. How's
Daphne
Daphne?
Okay, so I told you when my brother came to visit and he accidentally locked her in the living room, and so then she did the only thing that she could do, and that was pee and poop on his head. So Saturday morning, so my girlfriend stayed Thursday night and Friday night. And Friday night, they both slept in my room, like in my bed, and I slept in the living room on the couch. Because I have this thing where, like, I can't sleep in a room with people anymore. So that's the thing I'm dealing with.
No.
Because they were like, are you sure you don't want to sleep in your bed? And I was like, sorry, I actually don't want to be around you guys. Like, sorry, I have to be alone. So anyway, so I'm sleeping on the couch in the living room. Kat's with me, like, all night. But she goes and she does her things at different hours. Like 11 a.m. Saturday morning, they come out of my room and they're like, oh my God, Daphne peed on the bed. And I was like, what? I was like, oh, did you accidentally shut the door? And they were like, no, she literally jumped up on the bed, looked at us, and peed. And so I love it so much. I think Daphne is doing this thing where, like, when she's ready for people to be gone, she's like, I'll pee on you.
Well, I was going to ask
get
you how
out.
she was dealing with like having other people in her territory.
I think she was like, who are you?
And this is mom's bed.
I'm the owner of this
I know
house.
this house.
Like, this is not your bed.
That's
Who are
very
these two blondes?
That's very naughty of her.
Yeah.
It's naughty behavior, but it's her communicating in a way.
Yeah.
You have to buy, because cat piss smells.
I already sent it out.
You did they'll spray. They have to do the whole thing.
I immediately
You're
sent
good.
it to the
You're
dry
good.
cleaner.
Okay. So Butter, when I first went to college, she would go and shit in my room. Because she basically was like, where is she? I'm
But here's the
fucking
thing,
mad.
it's never to me.
No.
I'm never even around
No,
for
she's-
it. It's almost like she's like, I'm defending my mom, get out.
Yeah, she literally was like, this is not
Sorry,
right.
this
You've
is-
overstayed your welcome.
Yeah, she's like, it's Saturday morning, we do our things, and you can't be here.
Oh my God.
So I'm like obsessed with her even more because I just feel like her personality truly is
Well,
me.
They do kind of become their mom.
Yeah. She's just like, I've had it now.
She's really,
She's like,
really
I'd like to just lay with my mom in peace.
She's really perfect and
No, she's
beautiful.
so
And I think
perfect.
about her more than I should.
No, I think about her all the time.
Speaking of girls I think about that need to be spoken about, Dakota Fanning.
That should be a segment. Girls I think about that should be spoken about.
I'm going to speak about it right now.
Yeah.
Dakota Fanning.
Let's bring her up.
Have you seen The Perfect Couple?
Sure have.
I think the first episode, it was bad.
I think the whole series is probably
bad.
not that great.
Okay, thank you. I thought I was being gaslit.
Yeah.
It's Nicole Kidman, for some reason, is working her little butt off.
Yeah.
And she's
Amazing cast.
amazing cast. I don't think the writing was good.
Yeah.
And it was like a little corny.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't get past the like opening scene where they're doing the dance.
I didn't get that.
Yeah,
They didn't even get that.
They didn't get
They did an interview. They were like, we don't know.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, the director just said, hey, we're going to, and they were like, please no. Someone tried to called their agent and was like, I'm not doing a dance.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the second, you could tell they're all uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They all do a, what's it called when everyone stands in like when someone's proposing and they do and everyone's singing.
Quartet? Wait, no, let me get this one. I can get this. When everyone's
I'm
standing,
so confused.
everyone's standing.
It's like we're
Flash mob.
Flash mob. It's giving flash mob. Thank you. I can never ever get flash mob. Like I'm over
Why
like
did I say
100.
quartet? You said getting proposed to, and I thought like string quartet.
Yeah. So anyway, It's not that good, but like it's the kind of thing you'll get sucked into if you keep it on.
100%. And like I feel like a lot of things that aren't that good
Yeah.
because I like certain people. Like
Yes.
I'll watch Nicole Kidman
Do anything.
pretty much do anything in a
Yes.
movie. So
But I do have to say, do you remember like when Dakota Fanning first came on the scene as like
Uptown Girls.
how old
star.
is she? 7 or
Yeah.
so? Like I remember being like, she's a genius.
Yep.
She needs to be protected. She's a star.
Yeah.
Then of course disappears.
Yep.
And now like there hasn't even been like an article about it. She just kind of casually is appearing again.
One of my favorite movies of all time
Mhm.
stars Dakota Fanning,
Mhm.
and it's called The Secret Life of Bees.
Oh yeah.
I read the book in middle school.
Yeah.
Correction. Sorry. My mom read the book to me in middle school. It is one of the, talk about crying at a movie. Every time I watch that movie, I cry. It is one of the best movies. I actually think, I feel like she doesn't do many like interviews, but I'd
No.
love to know about her parents because I feel like
I want to know the whole story.
it was probably one of the best things to like disappear
Yes.
because that would have been the age where it was like, is she a drug addict?
Yeah.
Is she going
I
crazy?
want a documentary because then we're not even talking about then Elle Fanning comes out.
Then Elle Fanning pops out.
who's her own star.
Yeah.
But then Dakota, this girl's clearly a genius freak
Mm-hmm.
in terms of acting. I want to know what's been going on.
Yeah.
Also in it, like I can't look away from her. She has she still has her
There's
big
something
eyes.
very captivating about her
captivating.
acting in anything. Like you're
Yes.
very focused when
but
she's
I want her to be
speaking.
back. Like I want her to be like starring. in
I want
something.
her to like take on
Hollywood.
like
The
like I
Academy.
want her to be the next like not the next because she was like probably I would assume more like famous before Jennifer Lawrence, but like that vibe of career.
Yeah.
Like there was like a time where J-Law was in everything and I
Everything.
loved it.
Yeah. Well, and then she was like, I need a break.
I'm gonna take
I'm gonna
minute.
take a second.
No, we should do what Adele does. She works for a couple months. She
Gone
takes a
for
couple
7
years
years.
off. She comes back. She does a show. She
Looks
says,
gorgeous.
She says this was insane. I'll be back in a year. Like I really.
I also want to talk about. Do you know who Juno Temple is? She's in Ted Lasso, which I didn't watch. She was in this movie about
She's
a
a curly
stripper.
hair.
Yes.
Yes, I love her.
I think
in
she's
Ted
the most
Lasso.
talented person ever. People don't talk about her enough.
She's
She's in Fargo. She's incredible.
incredible.
She's incredible. I never saw Fargo. She's incredible.
She's incredible in Ted Lasso.
She's incredible.
Her
I saw
character is
her.
also so easy.
I
To
saw her
play.
one stripper movie. Like
I love a stripper movie. Send it to me.
just Juno Temple stripper. Oh my god, she's funny. She's great. I watched her on the carpet, and she was like, again another person that should be like
Should
bigger,
be talked about.
bigger,
Someone-
bigger,
yeah.
bigger.
Something that you think about that should be talked about.
I wrote, oh, I said, wouldn't it be funny if Jennifer Lawrence started dating Gypsy Road Blanchard's ex?
Jennifer Lawrence is married with a child.
Not Jennifer Lawrence, Jennifer Lopez. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Jennifer Lopez. Imagine if she walked out with him.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm really so happy that we're over like the Gypsy Rose Blanchard hype. It was really freaking me out for a minute.
No, it was. I'm glad we didn't get caught up.
I would like to say we did
I did like to
not
say,
get caught up.
We look back on history. We were
We
not
didn't-
one of those people.
We did not get caught up, and we don't go with the.
The trends.
We don't.
Except for Caprice.
No, I love a Capri. I'm wearing one right now. We don't go with the trend, and also we don't do guests.
We don't do murder.
Yeah, as
Well,
guests.
look, she didn't actually do the murder, but she was abused. It's a complicated thing
complicated
that I
thing.
actually think is not appropriate to just do a TikTok dance with immediately.
And
after.
and we'll leave it at that because I agree. We don't have the time.
we don't have the capacity. Grace only has so much time on her
Grace
hands.
needs an assistant. She can't even manage.
But also, are we like in award season? Like, when did that happen? Because we're not nominated for anything.
When is the award season, though?
I think
thought
it's
it was
now.
in the winter.
Well, we had like I think it was in the winter because of the strikes, maybe.
no,
but-
I think it's always in the winter. I think the Emmys is in the beginning of the year
Mm-hmm.
because that shows start in September.
Oh,
So I think that's in the beginning
Okay.
because it's like what was last year.
yeah.
And then I think like the Oscars, the Grammys, what's the other big
Golden
one?
Globes.
The Golden Globes is in the winter. Is in like
And I also-
January.
2 more gripes about it. I want them to be more specific. I want them to say, "Welcome to the Oscars." I know they probably say it, but I want them to say it multiple times, where it's voted for by who. And when they say who's the Academy or
Yeah.
by the like, tell me how people are getting the votes.
You want a bio on each Academy member who's voting?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I want to know. It's like, I want to
You'd
know
like to
the
put a
numbers.
face to the name.
If we're going to do play a sport, give
Yeah.
me the rules.
Yeah.
I don't like people just getting awards. I'm like,
Yeah.
who got them? Who
You want to see
voted?
the judges? What are their qualifications?
Yeah, I want to know who's voting because then I'm like, oh, well, that tracks.
Yeah.
That a bunch of old dudes
Yeah.
gave you
Wouldn't
that
like my
award.
queef joke.
Yes,
Got it.
100%.
Because you don't get it.
100%. My other qualm is
Oh, qualm.
why do we have to say the number of award shows if it's not like a important number? Like, I don't give a fuck that it's a 76th Emmy Award.
Okay. That's interesting. I was going to piggyback off of that. And like when someone's nominated, sometimes I think it's like a tad bit rude to be like, and they were nominated 8 times, but they've never won. It's like, okay, chill on it. Fucking chill out. Like you had to tell everyone.
Someone wins and you're like, yay. And then they're like, it's
This
their
is the first time.
out of 47 years. And everyone's like, ooh.
No, and it's
Actually,
like-
kind of
And
bad.
then you're like, did you even win it or did they give it? Because it's so embarrassing. You've been
Well, that was
nominated
happening
so
to Leonardo
much.
DiCaprio, remember?
Yeah.
They got to the point where we were like, we got to give it to him.
Well, that's another example of people were saying that he pissed someone off about something,
Oh.
and that's why
very interesting.
he didn't get
But obviously,
awards
it's
for
all
movies he
luck.
should've.
Like if you were making movies during like Lord of the Rings, like you're not
Right.
winning. I don't care
right.
how whatever.
Oh, I'd be livid.
Well-
Imagine you're doing a movie and you're like, this is gonna be so good, and then
Mhm.
you just hear that some fucking trilogy is coming out that year. I would.
Well, that's why the Emmys are so
I
annoying
would pull
because
a Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
if
Fucking
so-
kill everyone.
if something was if a TV show is good, there's like multiple seasons, and once the Academy's on board with it, it's like, okay, so they're gonna win every fucking year.
Yeah.
Like that happened with like
Someone.
someone.
We know it's happened. We just can't think of like immediately who it's happened to.
To wrap up this episode, I have a fun game.
Okay.
You know, there's like this account called Puberty. I don't know. It just like posts really random shit
Okay.
with no context. It says top 15 most attractive hobbies for men to do to women. Women are drawn to these hobbies that suggest a man possesses skills and knowledge. I said, I would like to see if they
I would-
hold up.
I would love to see this list.
Because hobbies in general, I'm out.
Get a second job.
If you have time
You're
for
in
a
your
hobby,
30s, you have a
you're not
hobby?
working hard enough.
Get a job.
Also, hobby, like how depressed are you that you got a hobby? You know, like no one gets a
What-
hobby when they're doing well.
What quantifies a hobby?
Like you're not making money and you do it for the love of it.
How often are you doing a hobby?
I feel like enough that you. Well,
Is
let's
taking an edible a hobby?
no.
Okay.
That's just
Then
a
I'm
drug
out.
problem. Then I'm out. Okay, number one hobby that women find attractive that men do is reading. I'm sorry, if a man's reading,
No.
look, it was a trend with the whole hot men reading on the subway, which I think is try hard. I think they're fake reading. I think all the men are fake reading on the subway.
That's so. No. No. I don't want my man reading.
I don't like
want
them
him to.
scheming.
I want to have to guess. Can he read?
Yeah. I feel like women who read are too smart and they would win arguments against me, and I don't want that.
If they're going to read, I want them reading
On your phone.
at their desk, on their phone, the
Mhm.
New York Times.
That's what Des does.
They skimmed it. They
Mhm.
know what's going on in the news.
Mhm.
They're not getting on the subway and reading a fucking romance novel. I'll punch you in the face.
Wait, men reading fiction.
Ick.
Fiction is for the girls.
It's not for you. Yeah,
Chris,
you don't even
do you
have an
read?
imagination. You know, it's funny. One of my
Well, you
girlfriends.
should.
One of my girlfriends this weekend asked
What you're
Stephanie's
reading?
mom. She was like, "I know, like you love reading. Like, what are you reading?" And I started laughing 'cause
You
I was
thought
like,
she was joking.
"I was like, no one's ever asked me."
No, people have asked me, and I have to be like,
I always say The Great Gatsby. If you're in a pinch and you're in
But you know
college,
what's
and someone says,
crazy?
"What'd you just read?" And you're like, The Great Gatsby.
I buy a book a week.
Are you? What do you do with them?
I I feel like I I'm like, it's like me Googling Pilates studios near me and not going. Like, it's a weird
This
thing
is
I
so
have
us because I just bought a shit ton of books,
for display.
but all the same color.
Yeah, to
I mean,
look
they're real
cute.
books, but like, I don't give a shit.
I'll read a book on attachment styles.
Oh, you're doing self-help?
Sometimes I put down a book in like the main living area that just says boundaries, and he was like, "You can't. People walk in and see that you can't."
Dummy's Guide to Divorce.
I like certain like mental strength stuff, but like I'm never gonna read it. It's just fun to be like, if I need to, and if an emergency comes along.
No, we should read more.
My mom and dad read before they go to sleep.
No, my mom's always reading.
They go to sleep, and when I say, "Oh, I couldn't go to sleep last night," she goes, "That's because you don't read."
My mom loves like I love a period piece.
Yeah.
She loves like a period piece book. I'm like, just
Aw.
watch a movie. Mom.
You just watch Bridgerton. Okay, most attractive hobby that men can do to women. The way I'm saying that is weird.
Yeah.
Men's most attractive hobbies
Two women.
to women. Foreign languages.
Okay,
I think
I'll
that's
give
hot.
them that.
Like, honestly, when Des started
Yeah.
speaking Mandarin,
But
I was
not like Duolingo in the taxi. Other
no,
language,
no,
like
no,
I
like
want
you're in Italy and he just starts
and he just
like,
goes, and you're like, yeah,
and he didn't even tell you.
yeah. He's like, don't worry, we go this way.
I actually dated a guy who lied a lot,
I love those.
and he in high school, but his thing was he was trying to. His parents were really religious, and he would hide me from them, which is kind of hot. And he was hiding that he spoke another language. Like I
Mhm.
guess he wanted to be like just American,
Mhm.
and he was like on the phone speaking another language, and I was like, "You
Mhm.
speak another language?" And he was like, "No," and I was like, "What? I literally just heard you." And he's like, "No." And my parents once were like, "Do you speak?" And he's like, "No." And I'm like, "This motherfucker,
He's a spy.
he's a spy."
That guy was a spy.
Oh, he was talking to. You've been hanging out with Craig too much. Foreign languages hot. Okay, and this is where they lose me.
Okay.
Playing an instrument. Is there
Guy's
any
lame.
is there any instrument that guy plays that you'd be like, that's kind of hot?
The recorder.
Actually, the fingers would be kind of hot. I'm like, oh, he's fast.
No,
If a guy,
because I'm not like I'm not a creative.
well, you hate music.
In that sense. I'm not like I don't know. I'm too like
Honestly, when he's too skilled,
I'm too real to be with someone who plays an instrument.
And you have to say musicians. I prefer athletes because
I
musicians
prefer
are like in their
athletes.
head. They have like emotions. I used to date a guy who would leave voicemails of him playing music to me. At the time, I thought it
Drier
was
than
love.
the Sahara.
I thought it was love. Okay, this I can agree with. Cooking.
Yeah.
But I don't want them to talk about that they do it. I just want them to do it.
Well, I feel like as you get older, that takes a different form. In my 20s, if someone was like, I'll make you this meal, I'd be like, ick, gross, you're so weird.
Try hard.
Now in my 30s, if it's like, we're really busy, I'll whip something up for dinner.
Amazing.
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 I
Whenever
didn't have
a
to order it
girl
on Uber Eats.
Marries a chef, because I'm going to say it, chefs are fucking insane.
Yeah.
They're all crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, she chose her love language, which was food.
Yeah.
And I respect that. Like,
But I heard if you marry a chef, you're never eating their cooking. They're never cooking at home.
oh.
It's kind of like us. Are we making? No, we're making jokes.
I was about
at
to say,
home.
it's like community. It's like, I go, you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that joke. I'm not giving you a fucking joke. I was gonna say, my biggest pet peeve is when guys would like find out I play tennis and they'd be like, "I bet you I could beat you at tennis," or like they find out I do comedy and they're like, "Oh, like I could do comedy."
Yeah.
It's like I don't go to your accounting job and go, "I could do your accounting job."
Never.
Okay, woodworking, no.
No.
Woodworking is like, did you Google how to make girls want to fuck me?
No. Let the Amish have one thing. Okay.
Also, like, there's no way you're doing it as well as like a professional.
No.
And if you are a woodworker, you're a nepo baby.
Now, my ideal to woodworking would be like if you can put something together from IKEA and not complain.
Yeah, if you
that's
could-
my version
If
of
I could buy
woodworking.
something really shitty on Amazon
Yeah.
that like all the pieces don't match and you put it
And
together
yeah.
and you don't bitch about it,
Yeah, and you're like, I just got to run to the hardware store. Fine.
hot.
So
But to be
hot.
a woodworker, you know how long it takes to woodwork?
No.
That's like
You-
years
you
on
give me
one
a-
table.
If you give me a birdhouse, I'll throw it in the dirt.
I've never heard you say that kind of sentence. Painting, no.
No.
No, 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 no. Writing.
Painting is for me and my iPad.
My mental health coloring.
Writing,
I do have to say, it's hot when
Hmm.
Des he's so cute.
You just love him.
Wait, I'm obsessed. He goes to the
Ew.
coffee shop in the morning while I'm asleep.
Stop.
And he has a little notepad
Yeah.
where he writes joke ideas while he drinks coffee.
That's
And it's just
so
chicken scratch. Like it's not full
cute.
sentences. He
No,
just
that's
ideas.
fine.
And then he tries it on stage at night.
I like that.
And every
Like
now and then
poems? No.
you know what's funny? Every now and then I'll look and I'll see his cute, like, little funny ideas.
Yeah.
And then he once was like, "Hey, there's a notebook that like you have some like serious stuff in. You ever have like a therapist be like, write down how you're feeling, and you're
Yeah.
like, the world is so
Yeah.
dark." He was like, you should probably like take out that page because someone might read it. Because it was like an insane. I wrote like something insane.
my God.
I was like, I'm gonna, it
Let
was
it
dark.
out.
It was dark.
Put it in the book.
So Des has like cute stuff where mine is like, I hate everything. The world is
You're like, what is my purpose? What
Literally.
is drive? And who has it?
gardening. I like.
Yeah, I'm not mad at gardening.
I'm not for some reason.
Because then again, you are benefiting from the food that will be picked.
Yes. Also, I like when men create. Men love to destroy.
Yeah.
I know I've been talking good about Des this episode, but now I need to have some reality check. I walk into the kitchen and he has a crazy thing in the kitchen that's not supposed to be in the kitchen, just like on the kitchen table.
Mm.
And I go, what is that? And he goes, it's a buzz saw, like a little buzz saw. And he was
You're
cut-
losing me.
like
What the fuck is a buzzsaw?
Chris, what is it called?
Buzzsaw? You're referring to as
Yeah, it's a buzz saw. It's like a little. It's like to cut like a tree.
Everyone just learned what a buzzsaw was at some point in their lives and looking at me like I'm crazy.
It was to cut trees, basically.
Okay.
Like it's like a cutter thing.
So a saw?
A saw, but like it's an electric saw,
Oh.
and it's like a gun. It was like an electric gun saw. Basically,
Is
the most
buzz? Are you saying buzz because it's electric and that's the sound it makes?
Yeah.
Do people call it that?
I think they call it a buzz saw.
what comes up.
I don't think I've ever heard buzz saw. Oh. No.
I doubt that's what.
Yeah, an electric saw.
Electric saw.
You
Okay.
freaks.
But it's not such a man thing to have a gun electric saw. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he's using it to cut like some branches that are on the deck, and I'm
Okay.
like, you can use a scissor. Like this was so aggressive.
So aggressive.
They love destroying things.
Yeah.
Like it's never creating. Okay. Swimming. I like it because it tires them out.
Yeah, I'm not mad at
Go
that.
swim. This I hate.
Okay.
Photography.
I hate it. I hate it.
When-
You're not a photographer.
You're
And if you just picked it up, get out of here.
if you just it's I feel like they just like buy expensive things and think they can click. We're like women, we have a vision. We like sense the energy of the room.
Yeah.
Like I want a gay photographer or a
even-
female photographer.
You can't get my shoes in the picture. You're not a
Well,
photographer.
that's another thing. Straight men cannot take photos.
No, they're not.
How are they becoming professional
They're not.
photographers?
They're not.
Hiking, what we know how you feel about that. Archery, what was this, medieval times?
I'm actually not mad about it.
Archery? If he was like, oh, I
I'm-
gotta go arch with my friends.
One time I dated a guy who loved jujitsu. Okay.
My brother did that
I
for a
wasn't
bit.
mad at that either.
I wasn't
very
mad.
passionate about it.
I wasn't mad, but like I do think they're all making out.
100%. They're like rolling around, touching each other's butts. I'm like, okay.
they're all entangled together.
I'm not mad at the archery because it's like
Old money.
it is giving a little bit of
It's giving old money. You have to
It's
have like
giving-
a lawn.
It's giving like quail hunting.
Yes. Pigeon.
Yeah.
But I don't like when they kill things.
Yeah.
Finally, traveling. That's not a hobby.
That's not a hobby.
That's not a hobby.
like-
So anyway, puberty, do better. And men, just like
get jobs.
get a job, figure it out.
Literally.
We have Atlantic City coming up, which
Mm-hmm.
we have some tickets available because Atlantic City people don't live there.
Okay.
It's like a party town.
Nice.
So like I highly recommend if you live near the area, go. It's in this crazy casino. It's going to be wild.
There's our first casino.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah. Grace, what other places do we have shows?
DC.
That's not sold out.
Sorry.
Newark. Come on, Newark girls.
Come on, Newark.
Come on. Fly to Newark and come to the show.
If you didn't get tickets to New York, you could go to its cousin, Newark.
Oh yeah, Madison, we had another show. Badgers, don't embarrass me now, Badgers. Milwaukee, we have some
I
more.
can't fucking wait to go to Madison, Wisconsin. I've never been more excited to visit a place in this country, in the middle of the country, in my life. If I don't get a cheese curd upon touchdown, I'll lose
Wait,
it.
I'm so excited that you're excited about Wisconsin. I think we're going when it's cold, which is it end of October. It'll be cold, but it won't be too cold. Okay, we love you guys. Thanks for giggling with us, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.